This is the ROG Ally X from ASUS, and in case you missed the last one, the ROG Ally, no X, then that one was white, this one's black, that one came out last year, sorry, this one is new, came out this year. The ROG Ally X isn't a complete sequel, it's more like a reboot, again, but better. And there are things we liked about the original Ally that have found their way over. And the things we didn't like about the original Ally, ASUS has fixed. The first of which is this display. It's a 7-inch IPS display with a native resolution of 1080p, and it can do up to 120 Hz refresh rate, which is pretty cool if you can find games that'll run at that. The Ally X, like the previous Ally, is still running a Windows as its operating system, which means you aren't locked in, like the Steam Deck, for example, to just running Steam games. You can run games from EA, Xbox, Game Pass, GOG, any gaming platform or launcher you can imagine. However, that does come with some caveats, which we'll get into in the full review. You can read about that below. Performance. The ROG Ally X does have the same chipset inside, the AMD Z1 Extreme APU, but there are a bunch of other upgrades across the board that all help to boost its performance above the original Ally in noticeable ways. Armoury Crate is ASUS's launcher operating system, built-in update engine. First iteration, it wasn't so great, needed more time in the oven. It's had more time in the oven, now it's that crisp golden brown on top. It's got quality of life features that weren't present in the original. You can set how much memory you dedicate to the GPU, that's great. Dedicated brightness slider, also great. Real-time system monitoring, also great. But the biggest, by far, is the battery. Double the battery size means you're getting roughly double the battery life. A little known fact about APUs inside, they love memory bandwidth. They just can't get enough of the stuff. With 24 gigs of RAM over the 16 gigs and faster, we noticed a decent performance improvement with the Ally X. They've redesigned the internal structure inside, the handles as well, and the cooling system. So the cooling system is more efficient. When the APU hits 95 degrees Celsius, you don't actually feel it unless you give it a sniff. We don't recommend that, neither does ASUS. Next, we got joysticks. ASUS is probably going to be working on replacement parts. Hopefully those come to South Africa. The XG Mobile proprietary connector, where ASUS wanted you to buy the separate external graphics card enclosure that you plug in, that's gone. USB 4 now, universal, it's in the name. Love to see that. It feels better in hand. With double the battery, you'd expect, wow, it's probably, double as heavy. It's a fat boy. It's not. It feels better in hand. The Xbox controller layout is still here with the back trigger buttons if that's your thing. Other improvements include AMD's fluid motion frames and Fidelity FX Super Resolution 3. Those all help to make your gameplay smoother by generating AI frames with minimal visual artifacts. If you want to play, for example, God of War on a little handheld device that's only slightly bigger than a Game Boy was, at least in our hands, because our hands were smaller. Internally, the M.2 drive is now serviceable by you, maybe. I don't see any warranty stickers, and ASUS has made a point about saying that it's using the standard form factor now, the long one, so you can replace it with a bigger one if you want. Although it does have double the storage than the previous one did. 512, this one's got a terabyte of storage, so you can put more games on. Valve announced that SteamOS would be coming to more platforms like the ROG Ally, and that could potentially mean more performance increases, battery life increases when it does come. We'll be testing that out for ourselves, but that is just speculation at the moment. If you want more speculation, check out our website, stuff.co.za, and the other YouTube videos that you'll find somewhere. Our editor will put them there. He's going to put them there.